What's going on, guys? This is Trenton Productions here. Welcome back to another episode I've reviewed for today. On this episode, we're back to playing Train Sim World number 4, since 5 wants to be a little special, per se. We'll be playing Acela Express number 2100, and we'll be starting our journey from Trenton to New York Penn Station. Once we start this, we'll see how far we get, make sure we're on time, and hopefully nothing happens. I did get a whole upgrade on my computer thanks to my best friend Luke, which you have occasionally seen in the past in some of my videos. He and his fiance recently came over. We had a bachelor party not that long ago, actually it was last week, and then him and his fiance came out. We had an awesome weekend, and so while we were doing that, the PC that he built me needed a heavy upgrade, so we've been spending the last 72 hours doing it. I've tested it already today, as you've seen from an earlier video, and it works splendidly. Much thanks to him for walking me through and providing all the upgrades and all the other stuff as well. This thing runs so smooth. It's great. And I'll show you how smooth. The graphics card does need an upgrade. I could do that myself at some point when I have enough money to do that. But other than that, everything else works fantastically, and you'll get a full demonstration here. So let us begin. So we're going to set it up. We'll put our reverser handle neutral. Let's bring this automatic breakdown and suppression. Headlights are full. Put on dim. We'll get the AC going. It's still summertime. Let's go ahead and turn on our safety features, alerters, now cut in. ATC and access. ATC is automatic train control. Access is advanced civilized speed enforcement system. For those of you who do not know, let's take a walk on the wild side. It's a beautiful morning. It's just shy of 8. Operating power car number 2039 in the lead. Let's check the pantograph real fast. Hopefully no foamers crawling to the cab there. Pantograph looks good. There's our carbon strips. Looks a little worn out there in the middle, but I think it'll last us all the way to New York Penn. Let's go shut that door here. Let's get back in the cab, get everything ready, take a look. Let's see, we'll turn our timetable light on for all those tunnels and bridges. Let's see. Everything looks good so far. Let's see, we are AC on auto set to 70. That's about a good temperature for being in the cab, depending on the time of year. Around this time of year, at the end of September, I like to have around 70, 75 in the cab. The current models we operate with the BNSF, even the Ford Empowers, usually you have it on low AC or high fan, maybe crack a window. It's not too hot out there. So our capsule did come in. We have a approach medium upon departure 45, and we do have a medium clear. Alright, there's our sign to lock the door, so conductor's locking the doors now, even though it's really me. I also want to thank Luke for the very wide and curved monitor, which is amazing. Alright, so we have a low voltage, so somewhere we're not getting around enough voltage, but once we jump start this thing, we should be good. So let's knock off the brakes. Let's get a move on. Well, even with low voltage, we still have power, pulling out 17 effort, so about 17,000 pounds of traction effort there. Alright, horn works good. Always, anytime I depart, I always test the horn personally, because you never know. Sometimes the horn can be cut out. Somebody could be working on it, or breaker could have tripped, whatever the situation is. So, always like to just be cautious. As we get close to our target speed, which is our max authorized speed, currently at 45 with the approach medium. So once we get around there, I'll activate the cruise control, and then that'll help us with power and dynamic braking. Alright, there's our 110. Alright, so I'll go idle our throttle. Let's get the cruise control going so it doesn't try to do anything weird. And full power. We'll throw in a little bit of sand for wheel slip control. And we are out of here. I'll keep my lights on dim until we pass this guy so we don't blind him with the mirror. It does happen in real life and during the day. I'll keep my bell on too, just so we don't scare each other. Alright, works good. Alright. Now we have passed that guy. Here we go. Alright, cap speed is now up to 150, and max authorized speed is now 135, and we've just cleared it, so now 135. I'll go and put my cruise control 1 mile an hour below, just to account for those grades if we're still in power. With the cruise control, we have that 1 mile an hour buffer, so we do not speed. I could do 135 realistically, but again, just sided with the air of caution. Let's see, our first station stop will be right to Newark, straight to Newark. Alright. Sometimes I'll have to stop at Metro Park and then Newark Penn, but going straight to Newark Penn. Acelas generally do not stop at Newark Liberty. I do not have any recollection of any Acelas stopping at Newark Liberty International Airport, except for when they are operating as Northeast Regional trains, which does happen. So one thing to account for on high-speed trains versus regular trains being trains that do not exceed about 79 miles per hour, which is the FRA regulated speed for passenger trains. However, on these high-speed trains, they are FRA exempt from that, as trains operate at higher speeds. I'd have to look more into the regulations for that. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so the alerter for high-speed trains will go off every 30 seconds because you're going at higher speed, so there is more risk of something happening at high speeds if you were to have a heart attack or you just become unavailable, per se. That's why the alert goes off every 30 seconds, because if the alerter were to go off every 60 seconds, like normal trains here in North America, then it has the potential for disaster, and we do not want that. So that's why the alert is 30 seconds each. Which, when I first started playing Train Sim World with the Acelas, and it was doing that, I was trying to figure out, why, and I assumed so, and then I just got recent confirmation about that from a trusted source. Alright, so the next intermediate signals, we will go at 150 miles per hour. That'll be first sign of our high-speed journey, as now we can go 150 miles an hour through New Jersey, as this was changed, I believe, a few years ago, and I've yet to see it in person. Hopefully, and I do have really good news for everybody to share. It will not be time yet until I get an official letter of confirmation. Alright, there's our 150, so we'll clear the signal bridge there, as we just did, and 150. But again, I do have an exciting announcement. Once I get the official letter of confirmation, I will go ahead and share everybody the good news. So stay tuned for that. Oh, highlights were not full. Alright, here's Princeton Junction. I'll dim again for the southbounder. Looks like a Keystone train. Yep. So again, a little shaky on the graphics there. Again, graphics card is outdated, which that'll be the next project, is get a better graphics card, so that way we can play Ultimate Real Sim as much. Now, if I do like Train Sim Classic, obviously, then that's totally fine. But with the Train Sim World, it is slightly spotty, and also depends what route. Since the Trenton to Newark or New York City route for the Northeast Corridor has a lot more scenery, more details, more graphics, etc., more scripting. It's going to use a lot of the graphics card or the video card, so that's why it's lagging a bit. But if I do the Boston Sprinter, there's not really much scenery besides like trees and a few buildings that you go under, so that's about it. I also got a new keyboard to go with this computer as well. This is amazing. I mean, this is just one hell of a setup. It's so weird having a curved monitor again, a curved wide monitor. I used to have one when I worked for the airlines. Actually, I had quite a few of them at my desk, and it was definitely weird, but I eventually got used to it pretty good. And then I just went with standard screens because I couldn't afford curved monitor. And then my friend who built this computer, he had a spare one that was thrown out, and so he just kind of gave it to me, which is awesome. Alright, slow down 145 and then slow down to 130. So the reason using cruise control is that's how I use dynamic braking, just solely dynamic braking. Okay, so that's our acknowledged. Now we'll reduce to 130. Then here in a minute you'll see the maximum authorized speed reduced down to 130 as we are making our effort down there. It'll be right at this curve. And then we'll be maintaining 145 till we hit right about Jersey Avenue. Then it'll slow down to 125 as our max, and then go through Metuchen, if that's how you say it. I don't know. I'm not from Jersey. Alright, that's our speed reduction alarm, which we're already there, so. Where's my orange vape? Okay, can you swap them out? Thank you. Sponsored by nicotine, because nicotine, if you want to save money on medication, nicotine. Alright, there's our 145, so we'll use our cruise control up to 144, ease her up. That's right now we're putting in about 17,000 pounds of traction efforts. I'll tell you what, if you're starting to make videos or you want faster internet, if you have a modem, I highly recommend it. Well, if you're using Juno, something's wrong with you, but I'm not here to judge. But if you do have an Ethernet cable, my goodness, it makes a one hell of a difference. So, internet's twice as fast, and then if you also get an SSD card for your computer as well, which is basically like it's like a high-speed hard drive from the best of my explanation. But if you get those, my goodness. I mean, the last video I just recently uploaded was just a little test video of the Acela from Providence to Boston. I uploaded earlier in the afternoon, but man, it uploaded like within 12 minutes for a 43-minute video. I think that was about 27 gigabytes worth. Usually that'll take an hour, but you know, it took about 12 minutes, and then additional like 5 minutes to do the publishing and, you know, all the checks and stuff. So Alright, curve for 130 is coming up, and then not this signal, but the next one should be going down to 125. So I'll tell you what, we'll go and get down to 125 here. Then our cap signal aspect is going to change from clear 150 to clear 125. That should be at this next signal or the signal after. Yep, it was this one. And there's Jersey Avenue. I personally do the horn when I'm passing a low platform like that or low level because people can easily walk on the tracks since they're all leveled. So you just never know. And then of course if I'm passing a train that is stopped at a station platform next to me, I always blow the horn as I'm going by, just so you know, in case someone tries to do something stupid like open up a door or whatever the case. You know, you just never know. Better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, yep, tilting is still enabled. Cool. Still released. Alright, then we have the Super S curves coming up. We'll reduce down to 110 as we pass North Brunswick, New Jersey, because we just passed New Brunswick. Now we'll be passing North Brunswick. North Brunswick, excuse me. My English is not apparently a good skill. Then we'll pass those S curves into Metuchen. Might have timed this 110 wrong. Might have to put some brakes on. We'll see. Nope, we did just fine. Perfect timing. Here in about 20 seconds, I'll go and start reducing our cruise control down to 95 for the curves. About right here, we'll be fine actually. Right around that signal bridge. But it's time to start slowing down. .95. Alright, coming out of the S curves, straight to Metuchen. Alright, up to 110, 105 coming up, so we'll keep it at 104. It doesn't make sense to speed up and slow down again. Alright, there's the countdown. There's the signal bridge. 105. As we're already at. 104. Perfect. Alright, back up to 110. 110 all the way to Elizabeth. Or not Elizabeth. Sorry, 110 to Rahway. Rahway to Elizabeth is 125. And coming up here is Metro Park. Somebody on the platform. Looks like they're departing and you have no markers. And what I like to do personally is every station stop I'll get off I'll step out of the motor and take a look at all the components, make sure my headlights are working, make sure the pantograph's still good, you know, just kind of check. Never know, could have hit a bird with the pantograph and one of the carbon strips has failed. You just never know. Plus with that low voltage alarm we had prior to movement, always good to double check. But everything seems to be working normal. What is it? What's the video set? Why? Oh. Alright, here's Rahway. We'll pick it up to 125 after we pass this signal. There we go. Wait for our train to clear it. And here we go, 125. Then around Elizabeth, we'll reduce down to 80 and 85 on those S-curves. Then we'll pick it back up to 110 before reducing to 70 at Newark Liberty to arrive in Newark Penn. I've been to Newark Penn. It's not too bad. The architecture of that place is pretty decent, I will say. Just in the not so nice part of New Jersey. I mean, well, I don't like New Jersey, period. Too many issues I've had over there. Especially anybody rail fans of Bound Brook, New Jersey. I don't know why that place should be completely shut down and everybody should be trespassed. Yeah, that place is something else. Alright, we're gonna reduce to 80. I did not see them coming, because I was too busy looking at my speedometer and cruise control. So I don't know if I began slowing down fast enough, but we may have to apply the brakes for this one, which is not a big deal. We'll just have to reset our throttle. So once you apply the brakes, the traction motor pretty much cuts out for power, but it works for dynos. Okay, here's southbound Acela. I see them. Alright, let's see if we timed it right. Oh, southbound Jersey Transit. It is rush hour. Looks like we just timed it right. Excellent. Perfect. Elizabeth, New Jersey. You see what I mean with all the graphical details, with all the buildings, different power lines, all that such. While the Providence to Boston route is pretty easy with scenery wise, but here this is where all the super heavy scenery comes into play. New Jersey Transit does not play around, I can tell you that much. Alright, up to 85, we'll do so. Off the curves, up to 110, up till Newark Liberty. And then right before we hit Newark Liberty, we will begin our slowdown to 70, which will probably get a few approach medium signals as we'll be crossing over, I believe, to, we'll be on number 2 track, so 2 to 2. So we should get that medium clear, but we'll see when we get there. Let's see, what track we routing on? 2, yep. Here's North Elizabeth. Supposedly, there's a rumor that Train Sim World 6 is going to come out with the Washington to Baltimore route, which would be very nice. I understand that they're extending this route and it's going to go all the way to Stamford, Connecticut, which is amazing. So, I assume they'll be having some Metro North trains up there. So, but only one can guess, or maybe it'll be an add-on to this route, which I'm not too sure about. Alright, 70 coming up. Let's go down to 69 for cruise, and we'll begin our dynamics. Which we may already have to use brakes for, but we will see. Yeah, we might be alright, we'll see. Oh yeah, we're good. Time that one just right. Brush medium. Alright, let's go to suppression. So take our cruise control down to 45. Alright, we've cleared it, so let's go ahead and reset our power. Let everything kind of even out, and then we'll go back up to power. Now, if I do like the Northeast Regionals with the ACS 64s, right, I can do what's called stretch brake. So instead of going right to suppression and then letting dynos do whatever, I can just stretch my train so that way there's not much slack action. There's really not too much slack action with the Acelas because the connections are already as tight as is. And not only that, you have a power car on the front and the back, both producing power and dynamic braking. Our last signal was approach medium, so proceed, prepare to pass next signal line 45. I believe that's what it is for NORAC, because all the signal Rules here we follow in the Northeast Corridor is NORAC, the Northeast Operating Rules Advisory Committee. I believe that's what it stands for. Limited approach. I believe that's what that signal was. Alright, let's come down to 30. So looks like we might be stopping. Might be a train ahead. Alright, overspeed is cleared, so let's just coast right on in as is. Let's take a peek. And while we're doing that, let me pull up the NORAC book while we're thinking about it. Restricting. Alright, we're doing restricted speed in the cab, but we do have an approach, so we can go 30 miles an hour, but due to our cab signal restricting us down to 20, we cannot. Medium approach. Alright, so let's go ahead and slow it down a little bit because we are restricted speed. And we're early anyway, so no need to rush. And we have a stop signal ahead. Okay, so that was an approach medium, rule 286 in NORAC. Proceed prepared to stop at the next signal. Trains exceeding medium speed must begin reduction to medium speed as soon as the medium approach signal is clearly visible. And cab signal is showing to stop, so we'll go ahead and use our auto brake so it does not put us in penalty, which it should not, because we won't be close to that signal because we gotta go to where that E is, and there's a penalty. Okay, well, everything kind of happened that fast, so as we got the doors open, we are pretty early, so let's go ahead and take a look. We are in suppression. Reverser is neutral, cruise control and throttle is off, so let's go ahead and step out and take a look. Alright, that looks good. Headlights still looking good. All the doors are open. And pantograph looks pretty good now. Alright, I like it. Alright, cab signal showing clear, and we're showing a clear indication ahead, so once everybody's loaded, we'll hit the road, Jack. So let's look up approach limited, which cab is showing approach medium, so 281B, approach limited, yellow over green flashing. Proceed approach the next signal at limited speed. Limited speed is 45. We have 3 minutes. Okay, so limited clear, 281C. Proceed at limited speed until tire train clears all interlockings or spring switches, then proceed at normal speed. In cab signal system territory, with fixed automatic block signals, trains not equipped with automatic cab signals must approach the next signal at limited speed. Okay, which we do have cab signal, so we are at CSS territory. Cab signaling system. I forgot to show the indicator as well. Friction brakes not released. Well, I would think not, and I would hope not. There's our speed check for our mileposts. So while we're waiting over here in the cab, we have our defrost, we have our windshield heat, our intermittent wiper delay time, so delays each wipe by seconds is our radio, our actual wipers, our cab temperature, our AC unit, and then there's our cab heater. This controls the ceiling fan, timetable, which is like the desk lights, and then the brighter for the desk lights. Electrical reset, tilting mechanism is enabled. There's your emergency stop. This is your reverser. There's your cruise control, your throttle. That's your information screen. That's your speedometer screen. That's your automatic brake. Horn, cab signal system, then the doors, the actual outside doors to the motor here. No motion bypass. Pretty sure that I'm not sure what that is. I think it's that 0-speed function that I hear about. The parking brake, and then the doors for the outside, so they're normal right now. Snow brakes allows more pressure for the brakes for higher speeds. The mirrors, which they do not work. Then you have your acknowledger for or your alerter, or your acknowledger for your cab signal changes, and your alerter. Automatic brake valve, which is in passenger mode. There's your SAM button. There's the bell. Front headlights, and then your ditch lights. So my front headlights are on dim right now. My ditch lights are auto, so once the bell starts ringing, then it'll start flashing. And then for your feet pedals, this middle one is for your acknowledger, and then your right one's for your horn, so you can actually press the horn with your foot. Not too bad. And that's the seat adjusters. Then there's the second man seat. He also has a screen over there. Your basic tour of the Alstom Bombardier Acela Express high-speed train set. Now I have to say Acela 1. Go ahead and shut them doors. Alright, doors are closed. Rear headlights are bright. We are out of here. Clearing the cab. Cleared signal ahead. Okay to depart for Acela 2100. Next stop, last stop, New York Penn Station. Well, it's not no longer Penn Station. It's Mohegan Station. Not too sure. Looks like it got foggy out there. Oh, it's raining. Bad weather. For the bridge, we'll do intermittent wipers. And another clear signal. That's a Pennsy style signal. Okay, we still use those. Excellent. Alright, so we'll go up to 45. We are downhill, so I'll get off the throttle a bit here. Ooh, it got dark out there. It's only 8:30 in the morning. Went from sunny, beautiful morning to dark and gloomy. We went from Barbie skies to emo. It looked like it was a flash of lightning. Alright, up to 60, so as we clear this curve here, and then we'll bring her back up to speed. The highest we'll go is 90, not too long through Secaucus, over the, I believe that's called the Portal Bridge. That's definitely some lightning. We are wheel slipping pretty bad, but I got the sander down. Up the wipers there, but can barely see ahead. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Alright, that's thunder, and we have a cab speed, alright. Cab speed in the cab, we have a clear signal. Clear 90. We'll probably get up to 75, that'll slow it down for the bridge. Another cab speed. Must be following somebody. Or maybe not. Alright, coming into the, I believe these are the East River Tunnels. East or North, I can't remember. So yeah, I'm pretty sure these are the North River Tunnels, and then on the other side of Penn Station or Mohegan Station, however the hell you say it, pretty sure those are the East River Tunnels. So this is north and then this is east. This is we're going under the Hudson right now. through Hoboken. That's just a funny word, Hoboken. Approach medium. In the cab. Great. Approach 30. I've driven 100 miles. Excellent, since I had to start my stuff all over again. Restricting in the cab. Alright, I can see pretty good, so we'll use our cruise control around 18. I'll use full power, so he's full dynamics. It's weird when I have the cruise control set and I have even just a little bit of power. It wants to go full power up to the speed I set it to, but when I use dynos, I can control how much dynamic braking I want to do with the throttle. Now I don't know if that's how it is in real life or whatnot. I'm not too sure. That's a question I have to ask a reliable source. So we must be following somebody if we had to slow down that fast while we still had a little bit to go. Now I believe we only have about 0.4 miles, more or less, so definitely more than a quarter of a mile. So like 4/10, maybe like 3.5 of a mile. Alright, put our cruise control down. Now down. We'll now put our cruise control to 14. I'm trying to. Restricting. Turn on the bell. We are arriving in New York City. And we have an approach. And it looks like a stop ahead. there's our clear. Looks like an M3 coming in, Long Island. Another clear. That's annoying. I forgot when you're in the cab you can hear everybody else's alerters. Or these signals are considered dwarf signals. That the Penn Station style signals. Okay, that's my alerter. So that was a slow clear, so this should be a slow approach, and then there's our stop. Alright. Alright, brake supply. Let's go and see if it's going to hold. Make sure my lights are off. Everything was loose. I don't have any movement, so we'll go ahead and set it back up. Everything looks good to me. Alright. Alright, it took about 50 minutes and 54 seconds, so just under an hour. Operated at 58 miles, and we walked a little bit, and we did not speed at all. Everything looks perfect. Our stopping accuracy was pretty much on point, except for Newark. We're 15 yards off, only because the penalty brake kind of got us, because it was the cab signals kind of freaked out. They was going past the red, which I was nowhere near, as you guys saw. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the new setup like I did. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. If you have any stories, also leave some comments down below. Any advice, anybody has to offer as well, I'll be gladly able to take that, especially from older railroaders. If you like what you see, go and leave a like, and then always feel free to subscribe, and I will subscribe back. I do check notifications at least once a week. Thank you guys so much for watching. This will be uploaded here, hopefully, shortly. This is Acela Productions. Good night, everybody. And make sure to wish my wife a happy birthday.